There is a song on your playlist right now that you have listened to over 100 times. Maybe you listened to it 10 times just today. To everyone else, that sounds like torture. To them, repetition is boring, it's annoying, it's stagnant. But to you, it feels like therapy. It feels like home. If you are the type of person who finds one song and plays it on an infinite loop until you know every breath the singer takes, every drum beat, and every fade out, you aren't just obsessed with music. According to psychology, this behavior reveals something profound about your emotional stability, your cognitive processing, and the way you handle the chaos of the world. You might think you're just enjoying a melody, but your brain is actually doing something much more complex. You are hacking your own biology. Here is the psychology of people who listen to the same song on repeat. Number 1, you crave cognitive ease in a chaotic world. Let's be honest, the world is loud, it is unpredictable. Your phone is buzzing, the news is stressful, your future is uncertain. The human brain consumes a massive amount of energy just trying to process new information. Every time you hear a new song, your brain has to work. It has to predict the rhythm, decode the lyrics, and decide if it likes the sound. That takes effort. But when you hit repeat on a song you already know, you're entering a state called cognitive ease. This is a psychological concept where your brain relaxes because it knows exactly what is coming next. There are no surprises, no jump scares, no discordant notes. By looping the same track, you're creating a predictable, safe environment for your mind. Psychologists have found that people who loop music are often high-functioning individuals who are currently overwhelmed. You aren't doing it because you're bored, you're doing it because your brain is exhausted from making decisions. The song becomes a sonic blanket. It is the one thing in your day that you can completely control. If you do this often, you likely value stability and struggle with high-functioning anxiety. Number 2, the flow state connection. Have you ever noticed that you tend to loop songs when you are trying to work, study, or create? This is distinct from just enjoying music. This is utilitarian. Psychology calls this environmental masking. When you listen to a playlist with 50 different songs, your brain has to slightly reset its focus every 3 minutes when the track changes. The tempo shifts, the singer changes, the vibe alters. That tiny shift breaks your concentration. But when you loop one song, the music stops being music. It dissolves into the background. It becomes a texture. This repetition allows you to enter a flow state much faster. This is the mental zone where you are fully immersed in a task, losing track of time and self. People who do this tend to have a high capacity for deep work, but they are also easily overstimulated by their environment. By keeping the auditory input constant, you free up processing power for your work. You aren't just listening to a song, you're building a fortress of focus so you can get things done. Number 3. You are a deep feeler seeking emotional resonance. There is a major difference between listening to a happy pop song on repeat and listening to a melancholy ballad on repeat. If you find yourself looping sad or intense music, you likely possess high levels of empathy and emotional depth. In psychology, this is linked to the concept of emotional working through. When you feel a complex emotion, like a mix of nostalgia, regret, and hope, it is very hard to articulate that in words. But music bypasses the logical brain and hits the limbic system directly. When you play that song over and over, you aren't just wallowing, you are processing. You are squeezing every drop of emotion out of that melody until you understand what you are feeling. It's a form of active emotional regulation. People who do this often score high on the personality trait of openness to experience. You don't just hear the lyrics, you visualize them. You feel the key change in your chest. You're trying to synchronize your internal emotional state with the external world. Once the song no longer gives you the chills, a phenomenon known as frisson, you finally stop playing it. You have processed the emotion. You are ready to move on. Number 4, the mere exposure principle and comfort seeking. There is a famous psychological principle called the mere exposure effect. Simply put, we tend to like things more just because we are familiar with them. But for people who loop songs, this goes deeper. It ties into a need for attachment. Think about a child who watches the same Disney movie every single day. They do it because the world is big and scary, and knowing that the hero wins at the end provides a sense of security. Adults do the same thing with music. If you are going through a transition period in life, a breakup, a new job, moving to a new city, you'll find yourself looping songs more often. You are using the music as a transitional object. It is a psychological anchor. If you look at your history, you'll probably find that your repeat songs act as bookmarks for different chapters of your life. You can hear a song from 5 years ago and instantly be transported back to who you were then. You loop the song to solidify that memory, to freeze time, because deep down you are sentimental. You value your history. You are afraid of forgetting how a specific moment felt. Number 5, you have high sensitivity to detail. Here is a trait that is rarely talked about. People who listen to the same song on repeat often have higher auditory processing skills or are highly sensitive persons, HSP. The first time you hear a song, you hear the melody. The fifth time, you hear the bass line. The 20th time, you hear the intake of breath before the chorus. The 50th time, you hear the faint echo of a synthesizer in the left ear. You aren't bored because you are still discovering. To an average listener, the song is a flat image. To you, it's a 3D landscape. You're exploring the architecture of the sound. This suggests you are a person who appreciates nuance. You don't like surface-level interactions. You don't like small talk. You want to understand the mechanics of things. You want to know what lies beneath. This relentless curiosity drives you to consume something until you have fully understood it, and only then can you let it go. The takeaway. So what does this actually say about you? If you are someone who listens to the same song on repeat, stop letting people tell you it's weird. It isn't weird. It is a sign that you are self-regulating. It means you know how to soothe your own anxiety without relying on others. It means you have the capacity for deep, intense focus. It means you are not afraid to feel heavy emotions, and you have the patience to sit with them until they make sense. In a world that is constantly screaming at you to move on to the next trend, the next video, the next big thing, you have the rare ability to stop, stay still, and appreciate the beauty of the moment you are in. You aren't stuck in a loop. You are simply finding your rhythm. If this sounds like you, or if you have a specific song that you are currently obsessed with, let me know the title in the comments. I want to see what everyone is listening to. And if you want to understand more about the hidden psychology behind your daily habits, there is a lot more to uncover about the way your mind works.